7. Barrett outside the switch. Doncic goes over. And then he hammers it home. Broke his ankles.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope you guys are doing well, and today I'm going to be talking about Josh Giddey from Australia, the point guard that is 6'8", and he was drafted with the 6th overall pick back in the 2021 NBA draft, this latest draft, and someone who was taken with like a top 3 pick, the 3rd overall pick back in the 2020 NBA draft, actually came from overseas as well. Of course, he's not Australian. He was born in California, but he actually played the same competition and played in the same league as Josh Giddey, LaMelo Ball. But Giddey was definitely an intriguing, polarizing prospect. Some people were really high on him, some people weren't. Like, people saw what like really popped off at the page or popped out at you when it came to the film with his passing, but there were some big time question marks about other things that he really brings to the table. But when you take a look at what he's done, like his rookie year, there's been some really highs and there's been some lows, which you expect from a rookie, and he has shown flashes and he's definitely shown some productivity that he could be a solid to good player down the road for a very long time. We're talking about a 6'8" point guard. Yes, he is thin, but he has definitely shown that he's able to use that 6'8" frame or use that 6'8" physical profile to really look over defenses, because the best part of Josh Giddey coming from overseas was his passing vision, his ability to pass the basketball. And what has really impressed me about Josh Giddey, like, I knew he was capable of making these insane reads. I knew he was capable of making these great passes out there. He's extremely gifted when it comes to getting his teammates involved, and he's just a guy you love to play with. He makes everyone around him better, but he has processed the game so quick. He's processed the game like that, like so quick. Josh Giddey's been off the charts when it comes to processing the game, knowing where to go with the basketball. He's just been a freak of nature when it comes to distributing the ball. He really has been. And the types of passes he makes, like off platform or like off balance, one-handed sling passes, these cross-court passes, like he could be on the left wing, right? There could be 2 people on him and he just recognizes the right read. He could make the basic read, but then he could also make these difficult reads that when you're watching the game, you're like, how did Josh Giddey see that? I didn't even see that. He just has such great touch on his passes, like bounce passes. He just knows when to utilize certain passes throughout the game. And just think about it. He is averaging a good amount of assists right now, averaging over 5 assists for the Oklahoma City Thunder. But could you imagine if he was on a good team? Because there's been several plays throughout the season. He makes an insane read or makes an insane pass, and his teammates not able to execute. He has proven to be an all-around player, and he just loves to contribute to most things out there on the court. But in the half-court setting, pushing in transition, like his feel for the game is, I'm going to say it again, like I may sound like a broken record, but it's off the charts for someone that's a rookie. For someone to process the game like he can, I think is just absolutely insane. His ability to like see things before they happen is just awesome when you watch like Josh Giddey play. He is definitely a treat to watch, and he's like a triple-double threat. Like, he also likes to get involved on the boards. Him being 6'8", he is capable of getting rebounds, but he just has a great feel of where the ball is coming, like off the basket. He has a great feel for the game, and I think that's a great way to sum up Josh Giddey. It's like he was born with a basketball in his hands. Like, he loves getting others involved. He is so unselfish, but yes, he has shown he's the youngest player in NBA history to record a triple-double passing LaMelo Ball. Like, this dude is extremely young. He just turned 19 years old, but he's active on the glass. Like, he loves being involved in the game. Like, he's literally a ball magnet, and as soon as he snags that rebound, he just plays at the right pace. The game is slowed down, like for Josh Giddey. I don't know if that's because like he had a father that played professional basketball. I don't know if that's him just watching a lot of film, or he's just naturally gifted. Maybe a little bit of like all those things put together. But we talked about his rebounding, not afraid to like get in there, box out. Even though he like kind of is lanky, he needs to put on some weight. He's a great distributor of the basketball. He could rack up assists. But his defense definitely has ways to go. He is below average when it comes to his defensive rating. He has shown that he can disrupt plays like around the rim at times because he's 6'8" and he's like kind of oversized for his position, which is a great thing to be a 6'8" point guard. Helps you out on the defense side of the basketball. He's shown he could like deflect shots and stop shots going near the rim, and at times he has shown that he could be solid when it comes to defending the pick and roll. But that's the thing. Like, he has shown flashes on the defense side of the basketball. He's shown he can get steals, But just because you can get steals doesn't necessarily mean you're a good defensive player. You could be gambling too much, and if you gamble too much and you jump the passing lane too early, or they get you to bite, then before you know it, someone's cutting to the basket, wide open opportunity, or that person's able to dribble penetrate. But due to him, like, this is kind of a weakness here. He's not the most athletic in the world. Obviously, he could dunk the basketball. He's 6'8", but he's not twitchy. Like, he's not like a twitchy, fast type of player out there. You're not going to look at him as a prime John Wall. So he is going to struggle, or he has shown that he has struggled, like, defending these types of twitchy guards out there on the floor, or twitchy personnel. But when he is moving his feet, when he's playing discipline on the defense side of the basketball, he's shown he could be a solid defender out there on the court. But that definitely isn't his overall forte. But when he learns to use that physical profile even at a higher level and knows when to just play more discipline and realize, like, oh, we may need a switch here. I'm not capable of taking on this guy. But it does help. Like, sometimes his defensive liabilities are his defensive deficiencies are hidden by having a Shea out there on the court with length. Dort, one of the best defenders in the league. But yes, his defense does have a long way to go. But don't get me wrong, he tries on that side of the ball. Now let's get into the offense. Like, he has shown that he could be a herky-jerky player, not like a shifty player, but he's a unique player because he's not fast, because he's not crazy athletic. He has to have solid moves in his arsenal. Don't get me wrong, I think he needs to add more moves to his game and become more versatile on the offense side of the basketball, because I feel like scoring is what's holding back his game. He isn't someone that's averaging 13 to 14 points per game, but he has shown that he does have solid touch around the basket. He's not afraid to go to the rim. He's fearless. Like, there's plays that literally he's not afraid to drive on a Rudy Gobert out there on the court, but he has these nice hesitations. Like, it's really weird seeing him play. He has an unorthodox style of play. It's Shea and Josh Giddey are very similar when it comes to, like, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander does a better job creating separation, but they're both not crazy fast. But they have this unorthodox, like, good footwork, good hesitations, like, just stop on a dime type of play, if you know what I mean. And I like the herky-jerky style of play. I like their ability to use hesitations and freeze the defenders. That's definitely a good thing to have when you are not the best of athlete in the world. His handle is solid. I do think he has to tighten it, though. But, yes, he's capable of going to the basket. He's shown he could use, like, fakes. Like, one time he busted out, like, I'm trying to think, like, kind of an Hakeem Olajuwon. You know, when Hakeem Olajuwon would do the dream shake or use moves around the basket, that he would fake going up with the basketball and then lay it up and in, or just go to that dream shake of his. So he has shown that he can use ball fakes to really allow himself to get an open shot. But the big time Achilles heel when it comes to Josh Giddey is his jump shot. His jump shot is horrible. He really has a long way to go when it comes to his shot. I know he's trying to develop a mid-range shot. Like, I've seen when games go on, he's like, my three-point shot's not going down. I'm going to go to the mid-range shot. And he has shown that he's capable of doing that off the dribble sometimes. But solid touch around the basket. Nice little floater. But he hasn't even shown from the charity stripe. Like, this was his Achilles heel, like, coming out of, like, overseas, is his jump shot. Like, he hasn't shot it well from the free throw line, like, at all. It's under 75%, and he's shooting atrocious from beyond the arc. He is a catch and shoot guy. He isn't someone that's really gonna break you down off the dribble. He's shown he keeps a step back at times, but I think a perfect way to describe his shot mechanics are clunky. They are pretty slow. They've shown to get blocked at times, and yes, he has shown, like, when wide open, he can knock them down, but he's going to have to become more versatile and a better shooter of the basketball if he really wants to expand his game, because I'm not a big fan of his shot mechanics. They're not ugly, but they're, like, clunky and kind of slow. I really do think he's going to have to quicken that up, and his handle kind of has ways to go. But yes, he has this herky-jerky style of play, kind of hesitation moves, like, in his arsenal. His defense has ways to go, but geez, he's a great passer of the basketball. He kind of reminds me of Ricky Rubio when he first came into the league. Let me know down below your thoughts, like a bigger Ricky Rubio. And peace out, y'all.